Welcome back to Everyday Garage, and we are back on the 1962 Dodge D300, and I know we already got this thing running, driving, going down the road. Well, sort of. I ran out of gas in the last video. No, don't be out of gas. Oh, we might be. But what I want to do in this one is finally get all the little things taken care of, you know. Make it safe to actually go down the road. We need headlights, tail lights, blinkers, windows, a bunch of little things just to make this thing truly roadworthy. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I've actually already jumped in and done a couple things. I got a gas cap for this thing because it didn't have one before. If you remember, I had to fight this thing. Ooh, you can hear the gas getting out of there because it's hot. Does this thing come off? Come on, there we go. Hold on, there, come on. Right-handed, and it just gets me every time. No? Okay. Highly pressurized is what that was. But I got a gas cap, and I actually had to get two of these. This is a real small version that goes on there. But it's been a hot day. That's why it's building pressure like that. We'll go ahead and close that back up. So now it finally has a gas cap. It's ugly, but it's one that'll fit. Also, do I have the keys in here? I don't. I went ahead and took out the old flasher, which is definitely not working. And I had an old one just kind of sitting around. And let's kind of show you what's happening. Well, I tracked down the key. It was actually where it belongs, which is kind of a nice surprise. So key's in over there, and then, you know, I already said the new blinker or flasher's in, and check it out. We actually have it working. So, I mean, the signal stat works. It's sending power where it needs to, but it's super slow. And if you come over here, you're gonna see I'm getting nothing, which I don't really understand, because I did get that to turn on before, and it's not now, so that's fun. And come all the way to the front. I've been doing a little bit of work. I jumped ahead. So I took the lens off, and I can't get this to work. New bulb. Guessing it might be a ground issue because, you know, it's a bit crusty in there. So unfortunately, gonna have a couple electrical gremlins, but at least I got a head start. It's more just tracking down power and seeing where it's going and why it's not working. But I did go ahead and get new lights all the way around, so let's go ahead and jump in. I'm just gonna start on the tail lights just because like I said, it was actually working before. If I had to guess, it's probably a bad ground because it's supposed to ground through all of this, and everything's pretty crusty. All right, this looks like it was spliced in here, so I'm just gonna cut those butt connectors out. It should just come right out. Come on. Yeah, there's a lot of corrosion under here. I'm guessing that was the big problem. So I went ahead and stripped back the wires, and let's see if we can finally get this going. The ground should be okay. It's probably not gonna be. Now I have a red and a yellow. I'm gonna guess that red is constant and yellow is blinker, but I guess we're gonna find out right now. What are the odds that I'm gonna get a good ground? I'm getting some kind of voltage. And that seems to be varying, which would make it the flasher. And yellow is constant. Okay, that'll work for me. So yellow is constant, red flasher. So I'll just match. So this is gonna be the new one. I have red and black. Black will just go to the constant, and red will go. And we'll kind of see if that works. I went ahead and mocked it up, and it's working. It's just kind of nice, but the colors of the wires didn't work out for me. And I'll show you. As you see, the running lights are on and the blinker, but I couldn't set up the colors that I wanted because the red, which makes sense, is the running light on the actual bulb here, but it's not for this. And the black is for the blinker and the stoplight. But it works, and that's all that matters. Might have to put some Dialex or grease here to make sure, you know, this doesn't stop working. But now I can come over here and kind of make this a permanent connection. Oh, that fell off. But also, let's go ahead and make sure this works. Well, it is much, much later. Went ahead and got this all hooked up, like, you know, the temporary setup I've been doing. Nothing wanted to work. Not blinkers, nothing. So I jumped inside to try to figure out what was going on. And let's just say I was chasing wires for a while. Yeah, it kind of got everywhere. I even tried to splice into some stuff. And what it ended up being was just this, and this connector right here was unplugged. So after like 40 minutes of chasing wires with something simple, which it usually is with wiring, it usually is always something like that. So now everything works. So we got left, right, and even brake lights. Slowly ticking down the box. Now I know that we have to worry about the front blinkers, but I went ahead and tested them. There's power going to them. So I'm figuring once we get a good ground connection, it'll work just fine. So let's get these kind of finally, you know, finished wired in. So as you can tell, I'm going to be using butt connectors, and I just got stuff everywhere. Now, one tip that I like to use is not to have them be exactly even. You kind of want to stagger them. So I'll just cut one of these slightly back, and the big reason for doing that is that this obviously kind of takes up more room, and if you stagger them a little bit, you can kind of reduce how thick it's gonna be, and I'll show you that in a second. So crimp it like that, and I'll heat shrink it in a second. Now, you saw me stagger it, so I cut there, but to make sure that these wires end up the same length, you see how this is kind of overlapping now, gonna have to cut the red wire back a little bit. So we'll go to like right there. That way everything ends up the same length. Then a little bit of heat. So that's the end result, a little bit staggered so you're not getting like a giant area that's gonna bulge out, and it'll kind of be uniformed. Now, if you don't like the look of that and the wire is gonna be exposed, or you're just gonna see the wire like that, you can put some heat shrink over it just to, you know, make it look better. But since I'm just gonna wrap this in wire loom, I don't care that they're pink. There's your end result, all cleaned up and looking really, really good. And I went ahead and jumped over and just knocked out this side because you don't need to see it twice. Now, before I jump over on the front, which is kind of what I should be doing next, I actually want to jump over here and get these tires done. So you got this big fat boy over here, and I finally went and got the other tire mounted up on the rim. So here's the matching one. Ready to be swapped out with skinny over here, so I kind of want to get that done. All right, I already got it up on jack stands, so I'm just gonna pop this bad boy off real quick. Come on, there you go. Right on the right one, nope. There we go. Okay, I went ahead and just popped them all off, mainly because they're, you know, 8 different colors. Some used to be white, this one's faded. This is just essentially just rust color now. It'd be nice if I can get them all into one color, so the truck just looks a little bit better. And then you can see these fat boys over here. They're huge compared to the little front skinnies. So I'm glad I finally have the matching set. So what I want to do is what I showed you earlier. I got a bunch of rattle cans. So I'm just going to jump in here and do a little rattle can redo and see if I can get these things, you know, shining up and looking nice. All right, I finally got everything cleaned up. You saw me wire wheel, Scotch-Brite, and then I hit everything with brake clean. I actually ended up busting out the wax and grease remover just to make sure everything's kind of clean. Because I really don't want to be doing this more than, you know, once. So I'm gonna do the trash bag thing. I saw this on another YouTuber's channel, but you know, it looked like it's gonna make it a lot easier. So just lay it out, kind of grab the center. Hopefully this works. Because it looked pretty nifty, because I always did like the card thing. Put a bunch of those like flashcards. Let's see, run it under the lip. There we go. Did I do it wrong already? Probably. Lip. Okay. Yep. Does not want to stay under the lip. What am I doing wrong? Yeah, that doesn't work, not even a little bit. Well, this is what I'm going to go with. So I went ahead and just taped everything up because for some reason I can't get the plastic to work. So a quick little tape just so it doesn't get everywhere. I tried it out already. I got a tiny bit of overspray, see if I can scrub it off. But as long as I try to stay inside the lines the best I can, it should be okay. But that's what I'm going to go through. Go ahead and prime everything. And what I'm using is the Rust-Oleum filler primer. It's like a high build. You know, help kind of fill any of the inconsistencies. It's not going to be a show tires or anything like that. Just kind of get it in one color and look at the best I can. So let's go ahead and start priming and painting and see how this turns out. All right, well, I sprayed everything the best I could. You know, overspray it's there, but hopefully not too bad. What I'm gonna go with is some automotive enamel, again, just Rust-Oleum, but in the gloss white. I think white against that blue is gonna look just awesome. Let's see. Oh yeah. Man, that looks so good. I know it's just a rattle can. You guys see me actually paint some stuff, but you know what? You see the truck. This is perfect for what it is, and it looks really good. I think it's gonna look awesome on the truck. I can't wait. Wiping it down with some acetone really just kind of took all that overspray off. Man, check it out. Like I just said, I cannot wait to see that on there, but now it's getting a little bit dark, so perfect time to actually come over here and jump on these headlights. Continuing with the restoration of this truck, as you can see, this one's broken out and a ton of overspray on these lights, so I just opted for new headlights. There we go. I think this just pops down. Let that sit there. And this just has like a ring on it, a couple screws here, so I actually don't have to readjust the headlights, which is kind of nice. Uh-oh. I think I have a 3-prong version. These are only 2-prong. Let me check. Nope, it's 2-prong, which I'm excited for because I did not want to have to be swapping out sockets. I just went for the Sylvania. They're just decent headlights, a little bit brighter than stock, and they were like 15 bucks each online. So I kind of took it for the win, just straight in. Is that it? Quick little change out. And let there be light, low beam, and then high beam. Working? Nice. So I went ahead and threw in this side, but man, how much better does this look? Now, if I can just get these side marker lights to get with the program, we'd be looking a lot better. These things will not ground for the life of them. As you can tell, it's pretty corroded. I can't blame it. I mean, all of the shiny's in there. It's actually supposed to be kind of shiny like that, but I can't get these to go. I'll show you. Okay. Blinker's on, but this is supposed to be able to ground to this screw. I think that's how it works. I've gone through and already wire wheeled the back of this, but if I take, let's use this power wire I was using when I did the starter, and I ground this light housing. See? Works kind of nice. Now, I don't know if the ground issue is here or here, but I got to figure out what's going on. Otherwise, it'd be in business. Now I could come here and see if I can get a ground. So we'll hit here, which lets you know that's supposed to be 12. Can you guys see that? And then, can I get a ground anywhere else? Oh yeah, we are grounding to the screw up here. So if I'm grounding to this screw, why is that not translating to here? Oh, 'cause it's not that consistent. Okay, I can not seem to get a ground. I'll pop this little clip out. It should come out like that. Don't go in the drain. Did it go in the drain? Thinking if I clean this metal here and clean the metal on this, we should be good to go. And then this clip in here is broken, so I have a little bunch of them here. See if I can swap this clip out. Okay, just popping out on me. Which one looks similar? All right, let's clean this up. Come on. There we go. Do we have light? We're grounding. Perfect. That'll work. Now, let's see if the lens will cover that. All right, I'll have to come in and trim these clips a little bit, but at least it's working and we got the lights. That's a win, I'll take it. Now this lens does have a ton of overspray and it is pretty beat up and it's plastic. I was actually thinking I could just clean it up, but being plastic, I can't wipe any of that off. So I do have some on the way, so we're gonna be switching those out soon. They're just not here yet. Let me go ahead and repeat the process here and hopefully that works out. This one fought the heck out of me, but I finally got a ground for it, so we're good to go. Go ahead and check lights off of the list, which means I'm getting close to getting this thing done. What I'd love to knock out is interior and then, go ahead and place that bad boy, but it's starting to get super dark. I need to get this thing in the shop. That way I can actually work a little later. But if you guys are wondering about the 53 GMC, I'm actively cut and buffing, which is probably what I'm gonna go do right now. So the garage is full of the hood and all that stuff. That you will be seeing a video of that. I'm just kind of doing this in the meantime, nice change of pace. But with that, I'll have to be back in the morning. Well, not the morning. I usually start about the afternoon because I have so much to do in my days. But with that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow and we'll finish up this truck. Well, it's the next day, and again, kind of late in the day, but I'm back out here on the Dodge, and I've actually been working a little bit. Check it out. The tires look so good, or rims is what I meant to say. Man, well, it's got dirty from putting the lugs on, but that just gives it such a good look. I haven't got the backs on because there's stuff I want to do, but it just looks awesome. And then as you can tell, I went ahead and took the Dodge emblems off and went ahead and hit them white too. I just thought that would just give it a nice little pop. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. I like the white and blue look. I'm thinking I may even do some GMC lettering on the GMC. Maybe hubcaps and stuff white too. I just really dig that. And I know I just rattle canned these and it's not perfect, but you know, this is the paint job on the truck, so it's gonna be fitting. But I'm really happy with the way things are turning out. Now, before I jump over here and start throwing the back tires on, I wanna give the PTO one more chance of actually working. So I actually did a bunch of research and I think I figured out what I can do. Now, to show you what I mean about the PTO, I gotta bring you under here with me. So there's the PTO from the transmission. It's running through the intermediate shaft out to the pump. The pump has two lines coming from it, one hard line, and this one with the hose clamp is going to be the return line. So the hard line will be the pressure line, and that runs the whole way through here. This is the control valve with the cord that runs all the way back, and this is going to be the return side and pressure side, because see how this has a hose clamp and this does actually has a screw-on fitting. So up to here, pressure side is all along here to the two cylinders, and then the two cylinders have return lines there that run back to this bad boy. So that must be our reservoir tank. So when the return line comes back here, fills up the reservoir tank, then runs fluid back down to our pump, then just cycles it back to the pressure lines. As you can see, I've done a little bit of research and figured out how it all works. It's actually a really simple system. But I'm thinking, you know, if you kind of just look at how everything looks, maybe it's been leaking a little bit. So I'm thinking we have no hydraulic fluid. So if you come up here, I'll show you, you see the nut right there? If I pop that up, let's try to fill it up and finally see if we can get this thing working. Now, it's gonna be hard to show you guys anything going on up there, but of course it's a ridiculously large socket. It's 1 1/8, but that's why I have an assortment of larger socket on there. Can I get it? Oh, why does it always have to put it in an inconvenient location? Now, to fill this, I have some O'Reilly's hydraulic fluid, and I had to get this pump because it's the only way to access up there. The downside to these pumps, if you're familiar with them, they take an eternity. So let's see if I can get that in there. Like I said, an eternity. I'll bring you back when this ever gets any fluid in it. Well, I managed to fill the tank up, and that took absolutely forever. And I got this dirty simply from filling oil. Downside is it only took about 3/4 of a gallon, which I feel like it should have taken a lot more, which makes me think there's already fluid in there. But we'll fire it up and just see how it goes. But if anybody knows a better way to, you know, better than that cheap pump mechanism, if there's a better device out there, do let me know, because that thing is, it's awful. I hate that thing. All right, let's try this with dump bed one more time. We're definitely tackling the interior next. This thing needs to be cleaned so bad. All right, cold start. Pump and neutral. That's so awesome. Okay, control valve is already actuated one way out, but let's turn the actual pump on. So that's a big clutch in, down. Right, that actuates, and then nothing. Come on under the truck and you can see the intermediate shaft spinning, and then runs over to the pump right here. Should be working. But even if you come over here to the control valve, which is right here, so you have that lever. That's what this does. Should be getting the bed to work, but it is not. So I think with that, I'm gonna have to call it. That thing is fighting me, and I just don't think it's gonna actually seal, or I don't think the cylinder is gonna build any pressure. I think the seals in there are blown, so it's not gonna work no matter what I do. I'm gonna call it on that. Maybe I can look for a rebuild kit for something that old. I doubt it, but all the parts are there, so I'll get that working down the line. So now we can just move on to just getting this thing on the road. Last thing I want to do before I throw this tire on is I kind of want to see if I can bang this dent out. It's not going to be perfect, but just a little bit. This dent was done from the guy that I bought it from when he was loading on the trailer when he got it. So it's nice and fresh and should come out decently easy if I can get a good whack on it. There we go. More like that. There we go. That's what I wanted. It's nice and sturdy. This has kind of got a shape back to it, so I'm gonna call that a win. What I do really want to do is come in and, like, you know, paint match. Get like a little rattle can to paint match. But I already tried to do that. Some of the paint stores around here give me a hard time about it, but because it's a metallic flat, it's kind of hard to find. Now, I can finally put this big boy over here on here. Now, I'm guessing the previous owner, which is the guy that actually was restoring this, put these big boys on there because the load rating is really high on this. I think it's like 4,000 to 5,000. Where is it? There you go, 4,100 each tire, so 8,000 pound load. It's like having a dually back here. Definitely was setting it up to do some work. Went ahead and got this tire thrown on this side, and since we got both the big boys hooked up, we got our little one ready to go. I want to try to get it on the spare tire carrier, but I was kind of looking at the stuff that it comes with, and the bolt pattern doesn't even match up. So it kind of just sits there like that. And then I set you right there. I had gotten some 5/8 bolts, knowing that I was going to put one up here so it fits through there, but that doesn't even fit in those holes. I have no idea what's going on here. Now first, let's just see if I can, oh yeah, waller this out. It's gonna be fun. Probably should have a vise for this, come on. Is there any way to clamp this, hold it down? Well, after a lot of back and forth, check it out. I actually got us to do it. And I think I actually ruined the step bit, but you know, it's from Harbor Freight. But at least this fits through and I can kind of figure out what to do here. Now down here, this thing doesn't fit right, but so since it only matches up with one, I can either put it from the inside was the original plan and do a lug nut, but I don't have a stud for it. So I think I'm gonna come through here and just put that there, come on. The lock washer and a nut. That way it kind of just clamps everything down. Thinking this tires might be a little tall for this too. Will fit. Ooh, barely. Sits right on the running board. It's probably good. Doesn't put a lot of weight on it. And then go on. Come on. This is definitely a homemade tire carrier. This isn't standard. I probably should have shown you. It's got a bunch of booger welds and angle iron, so the guy that was restoring this definitely just threw this together, but it'll work. Oh, there we go. Nice. You cannot tell me this doesn't look good. I love the white against this blue so much. And then I went ahead over here, threw in the Dodge emblem, so that looks awesome, even though I got this greenish fender thing going on here. Definitely need to get some paint to paint match that, but you know, that'll come along. You need to get the paint shop to cooperate because that's going to be the last things I want to do. It's not going to happen in this video, unfortunately, but it is going to happen eventually. But this poor thing is just so dirty. That's the last thing that I need to do. Yeah, it's seen better days, especially the interior. So let's get cleaning this thing up. One of the things I absolutely hate about this truck is this thing. My wife says it makes it look like something out of Jeepers Creepers, like a horror movie. The guy that chases you down on the road. Come on. Does it come out? I think it just pulls out. Straight. There it is. Well, I went ahead and threw that top piece over to the side, but now I get the joys of cleaning this thing, which I think the previous owner was using as like a trash dump. Although I think this was railing that they put along the side, you know, to be able to carry more stuff. I'm gonna get rid of all that. The rest of everything in there was just garbage. Saved you from having to watch all of that. Man, I bet this truck bed hasn't seen the light of day in a long time. With it all cleaned out, man, this bed is long. And I love whoever threw this metal and just kind of gave up right here, as you can see in the corners, and just threw the metal down and welded it right on. But having a metal bed is really nice for carrying a load, so I don't blame them for doing it. I'm just, they really gave up at that point. They didn't just cut to fit that. While I wait for the paint stripper to work, finally tackle this thing. Now, my biggest worry is I can definitely get this out because, you know, just like that. But, you know, a window is a lot bigger than this, at least it's supposed to be. How am I going to get it back in? Let's see. Okay, here's the new window. Still in the cardboard. It's actually pretty cheap. I think it was like 60 bucks for the window. I'm surprised because everything on this truck has been expensive. I wanted to get new door locks on this thing. Looked it up. They don't repop them, so people are selling them for $150 a side for a door lock. Yeah, that's not happening. So, what are the odds I could just slip this in? Probably pretty slim, I'm aware. I'm gonna have to take the wing window out or something like that. Yeah, because it's not gonna go in otherwise. I wonder if I can just put it in like this and then, you know, kind of, yeah, there we go. And then turn it. Can I do that? Probably shouldn't be doing that. Can I do it? Down. Ooh, maybe. Okay. All right. Now, there we go. That went actually pretty good. Still need to screw those back on. Speaking of which, no better time than the present. Big reason I haven't put these on yet was it's didn't come with any screws. Whoever took this off a long time ago threw away all the screws. It's gonna be kind of screws like this. I don't have a lot of them, but I think I have enough to make it work. Just slam this on, and this has like a little flathead set screw. Come on. There we go, not bad. Well, I went ahead and already did the passenger side door, so all that stuff is hooked up in there. Now, before we get, you know, more on the inside, I want to see if this is going to work. It looks like it's just coming right off. There's just so much stuff on here. Oh yeah, that's working great. Well, it's the next day. After I got done cleaning that back window, I ended up working a little bit more and heading back in. And now I've got this thing out here. And as you can tell, the background has changed a little bit. I actually have another project over there where this thing was. Yes, another project, but this one is actually something I've been looking for a long time. It's a personal project, something that actually means a lot to me. It's gonna be brought to the channel way after the GMC is done. It just needed a place to kind of hang out. So now this thing's out here, but I have been jamming away on it. As you can see, the lenses are on now. These finally came in, really completing the front end. Also, I had to throw on some side mirrors, you know, try to be nice and safe on the road. The original ones actually go right here. I tried to find some original ones, but apparently they're $150 a side or $328 on eBay or something insane. I do not understand why people think it's worth that much. So I went with these West Coast mirrors. I just need to jump over here, do it on the driver's side, and we can finally scoot this thing down and get a car wash, some gas, all the stuff I've been talking about since the beginning of this video. These mirrors are incredibly simple, only 3 pieces, and it kind of fits the style of the truck. Let's go right there. Like that, you know, a 1-ton truck, big tow mirrors on it. And, you know, it does help that they're 35 bucks each. Which is still kind of expensive if you ask me, but way better than $150. So there it is. It just kind of sits here like this. It actually, this body line is a great place to rest this piece. And it's just gonna hang out like there. Don't worry, it's kind of tilted, but you can adjust it once it's actually up here. Just gotta mark the holes. To do that, I'm just gonna line this up. And then punch it. Start with the top first. And then I'm just gonna use a step bit, you know, out to 3/8, and it's pretty straightforward. Just 4 holes and it all slams together. Okay. Couple plastic inserts. Here we go. Installed. That's simple. Now it is a little cockeyed, so there you go. Just kind of pull it out. All the adjustment. How's that look? Look good? Yeah, a lot straighter. Gotta do. Just make sure I got a good angle. How's that look? It's a lot easier on this side. The passenger side, I had to get out, check it, get back in, check it. There you go. And there it is, finally roadworthy. Check to see, it looks so good. Mirrors really finish it off, front end with all the new lights. Man, I'm loving the way this looks. Now it is crazy, crazy dirty. So let's finally scoot this thing down to a car wash and see it shine. There you go, nice and safe. Like I said, it is titled and registered, and it's been a pain trying to get insurance on this thing. Haggerty refuses to insure any of my vehicles, which is mind-blowing. So it's a journey. Now, cold start, and it's in gear, clutch in, there we go. All right, let's finally take this thing for a drive. Come on, reverse. Is that reverse already? Oh yeah, there we go. I did bleed the clutch. I had my wife come out and help me do it, and man, it is way more responsive. I can see out the back window, that's kind of nice. Speedo doesn't work. Rattles a ton. This door is loose, you can hear it. That's 4th gear right there. Speedo kind of works, says I'm going 70, which I'm definitely not. Got a rubbing sound all of a sudden. Not like that. What is that noise? Let's see how many gallons this thing holds. What do you think, like a 17-gallon tank? Not working? Not working? There we go. Hoping the gas gauge works too. Okay, all fueled up, and would you believe it or not, the fuel gauge works. Well, kind of. It's a full tank. I think it'll slowly get to full. Also, I thought this didn't work. I looked into it. That's just that dummy oil light. So as long as there's no light, it means we're good to go. There we go. All right, off to the car wash. And yeah, it's starting to hit full. That's awesome. This truck is so good. Yeah, it's definitely not water sealed. Got a bunch in there. It's raining a little bit, but honestly, it's a lot drier than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, quick little rinse and scrub. Let's see if we can borrow one of these vacuums. Okay, in reality, I probably should have sprayed in here, but the seat's kind of nice. I really didn't want to get it all soaked. Ooh, hot pockets. Now, let's go ahead and scoot this thing home and I'll show you guys a little closer how it looks, but it's looking pretty good. It's got a wide turn radius. There we go. Well, I made it back safely. As you can see, the camera died and I forgot to bring more batteries because I'm a great YouTuber. You guys are starting to realize. But I'm back and I got fresh batteries. So let's take a closer look at this bad boy. I'm so stoked with how it came out. It's just a work truck. It's still beat up. It's got its dings, its dent, its bruises, but it's on the road. It looks fantastic to me, at least. I'm just so happy. It went from being off the road for 30 something years, being forgotten, to back on the road, tagged, titled, driving. That was probably the first time on the open road in almost 34 years. I'm just so happy to have this thing. But with that, I do have some news. Unfortunately, I'm going to be listing this thing for sale, even though that was never the plan. I just really wanted the dump bed, and since that's not working, I don't have time to fix it. And since I picked up that project I was talking to you about, I need to free up some money because that's going to be a frame-off restoration just like the GMC. And trust me, guys, if you guys are wondering, the GMC is getting there. The next video will be or me, I should say, assembling the front end. So it's there. I've already got the bed parts ready to be painted. I've been doing a lot of work in the background. I just didn't want to show you guys a bunch of sanding. So again, this thing's going to be for sale. It's going to be a great price. I'm going to put it down in the description. Remember, I am located in SoCal, which I don't think a lot of my audience is. But if you're interested, reach out to me. It is titled in my name, so I will have that for it, guys. But I just want to say thank you so much for the support, and I'm sorry that the videos haven't been coming out every week like I planned. I told you guys, I started my own business, and it's been busy, and that seems to be a good thing, and it is, but the truth is this is what I love to do. So I'm trying to get this out to you. I'm not forgetting about the projects that I promised. Don't worry, I'm never going anywhere. You're stuck with me. So with that, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, if you made it this far, please do that. And remember, if I can do any of this, so can you. I'll catch you guys on the next one.